Hey guys, I'm back from putting up my groceries and stuff. Yeah, so like I was saying in my last video, this is my channel, so um the things that I say, I do choose to say. So, you know, I'm sorry, if people think I shouldn't, open up. It's okay. That's fine. I believe that if I prayed about it long enough and I woke up and I did it, then it was meant for me to do it. So now here you got it, a big sis online. I'm gonna talk about everything. So since it's a random Saturday, and I don't want to be like jumping over the all over the place too much, and we were getting into talking about me and my faith and my sobriety. Um, yeah. So, like I was saying, it took a lot of prayer. It did, for me to stop drinking. Um, but like I never really like I have like a very my family, they're like very, strong into faith, and you certain things stick with you. Um, like growing up they stick with you. And like I just always used to remember hearing, you know, someone in my family, I can't quite remember who, but I know they used to always tell me like, oh, if you pray and you tell God to take the taste of whatever that is, out of your mouth, or you take that thought or whatever, I didn't believe, what I mean, that back then, and it's so shameful to say, because when you're young, you just listen to stuff, right? Okay. Um, but I did it, and like I can literally, like, I don't know, go into a liquor store and walk straight past and not feel a thing at all. Um, I can't say that for everybody because, a lot of people, some people they need more help, but I think that another thing that helped me too is this is what I did not share with you guys too in one of my videos. All right. So, I ended up in the hospital a couple of months ago. Um, wasn't a couple of months ago. It was about what? Mm, last year, March. All right, let's get this right. Okay, so last year, March. I ended up in the hospital and my kidneys were failing. And what's so crazy was I had already, started my little journey of, on and off trying to stop drinking, blah, 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 blah. But I was in the hospital for like 7 days and they didn't even know what was wrong with me. Like they couldn't figure it out or anything. And then they checked my CMP levels and my CMP levels, if I'm saying it right. They were like all the way, like it was like a chart. And on the chart, they were like off the chart, like to the point where like failed, like almost at failed. So, um, they ended up telling me like, it could be a fatty liver, it could be, it just different things. And then it was just so, oh my gosh, they had to run so many different tests on me and all that. And when I was in the hospital during that week, because I was in there for a whole week, and when they were running all the tests and trying to figure out like what was wrong with me and stuff, I kept telling God like, if you let me get out of this one, you let me get out of this one. I'm making a promise to you. I promise I am not gonna drink no more. Like this is it, cause I've been in the hospital before. But it wasn't for it was a mixture of drinking and something else. And if you want to hear about that story, you guys need to start subscribing because like I got some deep stories. But yeah, I was in the hospital for that yeah, it was a long time. That it was about 7 days, and my kids, they were luckily with my great person. Because I told you I mentioned no names, but the kids were good. They couldn't come visit me in the hospital, so it made the whole like experience even worse. But it was a good thing because it gave me time to think. Like I and then like I was in the hospital and only one of my friends actually got a chance to come see me, but I didn't even have a phone because the way that I ended up in the hospital, my I was at home and my stomach just started hurting and a female friend of mine was with me And like I was like screaming, like, and I was on the floor, and I'm like, like my stomach. And she's like, okay, no, we're taking you to the hospital. And then I went, and then they're like, yeah, we got to keep her. So that's how that went. Um, but that definitely was like one of those experiences that opened my eyes as well. That kind of let me know like that, yeah, Zoraida, it's time to stop, you know. And you could be doing, like I said, um, people tend to think that when you hear the word addict, it's automatically drugs, it's automatically drinking. It could be a person. You know what I mean? Uh, it could be you could be addicted to a way of thinking, negative thinking. Um, because you do have people that are stuck in negative thinking. Like, no matter what's going on in the world positive, they turn it somehow negative. So people have to get that word addict right. You know what I mean? When you're saying addict, you know. And then people like to play with the word addict too. That's not really funny, you know. Just want to say that and put that on record because using the word addict, playing around with it is not funny. Making jokes about people's recovery, it's not funny because you just don't know. You don't know how hard it is, like, to come out of it. And like, this is me getting like personal, and of course, I'm gonna hear backlash about this. But you guys, like I said, I did not go to rehab when I stopped drinking. Um, so when I stopped, all of this stuff is true. Like when I stopped, um, I did stop cold turkey, but like my anxiety was at an all-time high. Um, I felt the shakes and everything, but I kept the thoughts like in the back of my mind, you know? But I was still experiencing it. I just didn't want to let nobody know that's what was going on. You know, you have to hold your composure. It was like, Zoraida, this is it. This is war. Like I was fighting. That's what I was doing. I was fighting. And then, like once it settled in that I became like, I'm like, okay, like I'm here. Like you really don't drink no more, Zoraida. Like, wow. Um, God started blessing me, like my home. Like I'm 33 and I own my house. Like I got two LLCs. This is not in a way to brag. This is just me saying, I know I said it in one of my videos that if you give up something for God, that He'll give you whatever it is that you need. You know what I mean? To be where you need to be at in life, you know? So, yeah, so like a lot of people are gonna be like, like upset, like I said, that I'm actually like, mentioning that. But yeah, I went after drinking, I went through withdrawals and everything. Like, and it wasn't fun. Um, and then dealing with, toxic people too as well. Like, there were certain people that I would be around and they knew that I was, trying to stop drinking, you know? And a crazy thing is that when I would drink, like I was like friendly. Like I'm the friend that we'll go out to eat and I'll pay for everybody kids stuff, my kids stuff, like, you know what I mean? If I go shopping, I'll pay for everybody's stuff. Like I was like, cause that's another thing. Honey, another reason I'm happy I don't drink no more is because I could keep the money. When you drink a lot, you spend a lot of money. And it's like you don't even realize it until you wake up. That's if you do stop drinking and then, whatever. Because I know a lot of people who they'll drink all night and then get up, do it again. And that is no judgments because I did it too in the past. Um, yeah, so like that's another thing. Drinking will make you broke. Quickest way to go broke is to keep a bottle in your hand. Okay? Yeah. So don't say I ain't never tell you that. Yeah. And then like I don't know. People just like they're like scared of the internet. You know what I mean? Since this is random Saturday, you know? People are also they're scared of the internet. I'm not scared of the internet. Like they say, that, oh, be careful, people are gonna be judgmental. I always tell people this, and I really mean it, and I'm not trying to be funny, but they even judged Jesus Christ, okay? They did. Okay, so Um, and after things I've been through, I'm like a brick wall. Like not too much really can hurt me. Like not too much can hurt me, unless it's involving, the things that should be able to hurt me and get to me. I something that people should take into, a lesson that I learned in life. Um, a lot of people who like say things to you that are negative and bad, they're projecting the way that they feel about themselves. They're like projecting it back onto you. Like, so you got some people who be like, "Oh, like you're dumb about this guy. You're da 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 da." But in reality, they're in a relationship and they're dumb about a guy, and it's so people are weird. Okay, so since this is random Saturday, we picking up on all of these just weird topics, guys. um, yeah. So like, I don't know. I just got like a little weirded out like earlier because like I had how fast that my channel just like people just started like looking, and then of course little text messages and stuff coming in and all of that, leading all of that to say like we are all our own individual people. um Nobody's perfect. We all have issues, whether people want to admit it or not. There's not a any I don't think there's a perfect person in the world, um I do believe, our higher power, but other than that, no. So all the fooling, the internet and all that stuff, the fooling, no, 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 no. And like the girls who like to like glorify the lifestyle that I lived, you guys might be mad at me for telling the truth, but that ain't really where it's at. Not at all. It's not where it's at. I'm talking about them because it's draining. And that's why I was talking about um how people can be addicted to like because I know there's guys that are addicted to cheating. There's women that are addicted to cheating. Like for some reason they can have the best person in the world and they'll cheat. So like I said, you can't judge an addiction. There no addiction is um worse than the other. You get what I'm saying? So you guys all need to like I don't know, pull out like dictionaries and stuff and look up what an addiction is cuz um yeah. And just because you use the word addiction and then people automatically they jump to these harsh words like it's so crazy to me. Like this is supposed to be a place for us to heal, guys. This is me opening up to you guys, right? um so yeah, like when I was saying about how we see these like Instagram relationships and how they blow up, and how they look so good online, and then you know you see them and tragic and stuff like that. Well, yeah, like how about this? I went through a whole relationship. I think me and him both were drunk the whole relationship. So talk about toxic, okay? We went through a whole relationship drunk. How is that even possible, you guys? Tell me. Like we went through a whole relationship drunk. Um and me and this person were like actually together, for years, and he was married the whole time and I didn't even know, right? So this is like since it's random Saturday and all my stories are everywhere, right? I'm gonna go start my dinner, okay? And you guys gotta like my videos and all that. If y'all want to get the juice and y'all want to hear about that story, we could talk about that because I think that would be a really fun story today. But yeah, ask me how was I with a guy for that many years, um, and he was married the whole time and I didn't know. I had no idea at all. All right, you guys. So let me go ahead and get my dinner and stuff started. And depending on, if you guys subscribe and like, or if you guys want to hear more, or if you guys want more videos, just go ahead and let me know. All right.